morning, everybody, and thank you for having me here today. Thank you for being in the audience. I have to say, I'm not sure whether it's an advantage or a disadvantage appearing after Ben Smithy, but I do know for sure that the energy is up and he has obviously motivated everybody, and I look forward to sharing a little bit of Greenland Ruby information with you. And first of all, I would like to thank everybody for being here today, the ICA for organizing this incredible Congress, Henry Ho for inviting me to be a speaker, of course Clement, the ICA board of organizers, Avinash for being patient with me with my presentation, backwards and forwards emails. Anyway, let me get going. I hope that my tech works. As Tony so kindly introduced me, my name is Hayley Henning, if you don't already know me. I'm the VP of Marketing and Sales for Greenland Ruby, and I've got a very short time with you today, but I am going to share some updated information with you, and then of course you are going to be privileged enough to view Vincent Potter's latest video, From Fire to Ice. So without further ado, I'm just going to, one of the first questions I get from anybody who's ever heard a little bit about Greenland Ruby, interestingly enough, is where is Greenland? Well, and if you live in the Americas or if you're in Europe, maybe that's an obvious question, but many people don't know where Greenland is. It's very often confused with Iceland. But let me assure you that Iceland is green and Greenland is ice. It's this massive country, actually, approximately 11 times the size of France. It's situated in the North Pole, and it is pretty much covered by up to 3 kilometers of solid ice. The Greenland Ruby mine is located in the southwest of the country, and it's approximately an hour by helicopter or 4.5 hours by boat in some months only from the capital city of Nuuk. But that's just so that you know exactly where Greenland actually is. The name Apalutok, just for your information, is the Greenlandic word for red, and this is a name given by the local inhabitants in the area. An obvious name for the red in the rock in that particular location, the red being the ruby that we're now mining at Apalutok Ruby Camp. So many of you might remember me from 2 years ago, our Congress in Jaipur, which was absolutely stunning. I have to say these last couple of days have been equally as fabulous. But if I remember correctly, the topic of that particular Congress was storytelling. Storytelling, how vital it is in our industry, how important it is to engage with the consumer, to tell the stories, to talk about what it is that we're marketing and selling. And I think we're very good at doing that with one another, and that's great, and probably you've heard me before, many of you in this audience. I think what our shortcoming is as an industry is conveying these messages to the consumer. And it's the consumer that we're trying to engage, and that's why people like Ben Smithy and many of the other social media influencers are so important to us, because it's not just the storytelling that that we tell amongst ourselves, but actually how do we reach the consumer. But in all instances, I was talking about Greenland. I start to tell the story of the rubies and the pink sapphires that are coming out of Greenland. I started to talk about Greenland as an origin of gem quality rubies and pink sapphires, an absolute untapped resource for something that we've known in our industry for hundreds of years. And we know the origins of some of these precious gems that we're so in love with. But nobody knows yet about this new and responsible source of Greenland. So of course I look back on my notes and I'm like, yes, it was about storytelling. And that's indeed what I did at the last Congress. And so fast forward to 2 years later, and here I am, pretty much the same, at 2 years older, of course, and probably wiser. But and I'm still telling stories about Greenland, of course. That's what we're talking about, because we are, after all, attaching the origin with the gem that we're marketing and selling and introducing the world to. But we've come a step further, because, as you all know, at this stage of the Congress, we are actually talking about responsible sourcing. And I'm going to get a little bit more into this as we speak. But 2 years later, I'm not the only person in the room that's heard about Greenland. And actually, since then, we've had an enormous amount of fun at the mine. We have hosted a vast variety of gem laboratories, researchers, journalists, film crews, designers, and of course potential customers who all want to see exactly where this gem has come from. But let me also just relay a recent experience. I got an email a couple of months ago from the State Department of the US, and they wanted me to host the US ambassador to Denmark at the mine. And I thought, wow, that's really interesting. You know, of course, there's a relationship between Greenland and Denmark. And I thought, wow, that's really great. You know, people are starting to really take notice of what's going on at the Apanuttoq Greenland mine. So off I went to Greenland, and we had a really fun couple of days with Ambassador Sands and her attaché, and they were very, very interested in what we were doing there, how we were going to be marketing Greenland to the US. They were, of course, very interested that Greenland Ruby has an office in the US. And, you know, that was all very pleasant, and it was really great to be associated. Little did I know that just a few months later, there would be this incredible publicity around Greenland. I mean, who could have imagined in their wildest dreams that Greenland would become a headliner? Because, you know, President Trump actually had put in an offer to buy the country of Greenland. I mean, wasn't it just the most crazy? I mean, I sat in bed one morning and I thought, this is the craziest notion. It's as if somebody had come and dropped this big marketing campaign in my lap. All of a sudden, everybody knew what Greenland was all about and where it was. So, of course, Greenland is not for sale, Mr. Trump. And, you know, what a funny notion that was in all of our heads. But actually, we all know Mr. Greenland. Mr. Trump is actually a very, very smart man, because what he knows is that this is a new frontier of natural resources. And in fact, some people are saying, many people, geologists, economists, saying that Greenland is an untapped resource for some of the largest mineral resources in the world. Buried under this ice and snow are some of the largest resources of rare earth minerals, and we know that this is such an essential part of our world. So maybe this guy isn't as crazy as we think that he is. And, you know, this Greenland is one of these new frontiers. And actually, I jumped right on the bandwagon and I said, well, Greenland is not for sale, but actually the rubies and the big sapphires from Greenland are. So if you want to own part of that experience, this is what we're doing. I had emails and phone calls coming in from everywhere. You know, because of course people from Greenland, they associated me. In fact, you know, people in the industry or friends of mine, they're like, hey, but isn't that what you're talking about with Greenland Ruby? I'm like, yeah, indeed it is. I even had the editor of JCK magazine calling me up and saying, hey, do you think that this fuss over Greenland is going to help you sell your rubies? I'm like, sure, we sure do hope so, absolutely. Anyway, it was a lot of fun, but really it's very, very relevant to what we're talking about today. So Greenland is not for sale. But on a more serious note, and as some of you already know, the rubies and pink sapphires from Greenland are what we're talking about today. And, you know, this is a new operation. As you know, the mining license was awarded by the Greenlandic government just a very, very short time ago. The company is Norwegian-owned. It's a Norwegian-owned iron ore operator, actually, so highly industrialized mining techniques, and obviously the location of this mine makes the environment is extremely challenging. You can imagine it's extremely cold in winter months. The mine is accessed only by helicopter, especially in the winter. In the summer months, you can access by boat, and everything that happens at the mine happens to the very highest of Northern European and best practice standards. So I am proud to say that Greenland Ruby is irrefutably one of the most responsible mining operators, colored gemstone mining operators on the planet. And in actual fact, we recently became the first RJC member based on our responsible, sustainable, transparent route to market. And the RJC membership, you probably know, is not just about becoming a member, but it's about really participating and proving your route to market, proving your transparency, proving your ethical and responsible ways. And how do we measure that? Well, I know that that's a very big question in our industry, and one that I'm going to answer, although very briefly. Where are we? Okay, so I don't have a lot of time, but I do want to talk about why we are able to claim ourselves as one of the most responsible colored gemstone mining operators on the planet. First of all, Greenland Ruby is the only producer of rubies and pink sapphires in Greenland. And the labs and the geologists and gemologists that have done the research have told us that the gem material from Greenland is unmistakably Greenlandic. Of course, we're talking about rubies and pink sapphires, and you know, the ruby has the oldest legacy of all of the gems. Everybody knows what a ruby is, but what we're talking about is a ruby that has never been seen before. This is a ruby that is newly mined, and we have spent the last 2 years doing a huge amount of research and development, not only in the gem itself and the material that we're mining, and how do we bring that to market, but also with our consumer. Who is our customer? Who is our customer that is going to fall in love with a new kind of ruby? And I was very inspired by some of the speakers that we've seen at the Congress already. And I was very interested in what Bill Boyajian had to say the other day about perhaps, you know, being able to capitalize, you know, in the colored gemstone industry, being able to capitalize on the man-made diamond industry. Well, while I think that that's a very interesting point and an absolute opportunity and possibility, I'm looking a little bit beyond that, and I'm saying, all right, well, there's a lot of people in the world. It's not altogether true that the next generation are not buying or wearing jewelry. It's that we have to make it interesting for them. We have to give them a story that they feel connected to, that they're interested in. We have to bring our gems to the marketplace with a fantastic story, talking about responsibility, transparency, traceability, and origin and storytelling, and make it attractive, and work with partners to create pieces of jewelry that are attractive to our young consumers, to give them a retail experience that is something that they want to do. So yes, Mr. Boyajian, while I agree that we could own a segment of that market, what I'm doing is looking at creating new markets for our product, because I think that we need to go beyond where we are at the moment. We can grow our market. Perhaps somebody who's never even dreamt of owning a ruby, that's my opportunity. And if you look at some of our social media, one of my hashtags says, not your grandmother's ruby, because my customer is perhaps somebody who never imagined that they would ever own a ruby, but they want something that's responsibly sourced, trackable, traceable, right from the origin. And because of that, we are the only colored gemstone mining operation, well, to my knowledge, that is able to produce a certificate of origin. And you can see it here. I can point it on with my little pointy thing. The certificate of origin is something that we generate in-house. It is not a quality certificate, but it tells the story of the route to market. Each stone is allocated a number, and this is what your customer can take home with them. It is almost like the birth certificate of your ruby, and this is customer's assurance that their gem comes from Greenland. We have also, I'm sorry, I'm speaking very fast because I see my time is running away with me. We have also established the Pink Polar Bear Foundation. It is our company's corporate social responsibility arm. We're concerned with international polar research, not just as a marketing tool, of course not, but that we claim to be responsible. And how exactly are we doing that? We're channeling a percentage of our proceeds back into the Pink Polar Bear Foundation. As I said, not just concerned with human or animal species, but with education, with giving back to local communities in Greenland. And of course, Who can ignore the UN 17 Sustainable Goals? It's within our DNA. We're a brand new company, everything held to the highest important European standards. And I want to say that we match already, I don't know, between 13 and 15 of those goals already. It's what we do, it's how we do it. There's nothing that needs to be changed or amended. We're concerned with all of the goals set out by the UN and the RJC Code of Practices. Our sorting facility is actually an all-woman sorting facility. I think that's probably also a first in our industry. A little bit about our gems, just 2 minutes. It's a hard rock deposit, as I mentioned. It's the oldest deposit on the planet, believed to be 3 billion years old. Our gems, it's an extremely difficult mining and processing process. They are better suited to cabochon material, which we can consistently supply in quantity, which is ideal for manufacturing jewelers, brands, large-scale mass manufacturers and jewelers who need a consistent supply of responsibly sourced goods. And we've identified various different shades, what's known in our industry as pigeon blood, right through to the icy pinks and snowy white gems, of course, the pink sapphire. I'm going to skip through this slide because I am running out of time, but we had a proof of concept with a retailer in Denmark who created a collection in time for Christmas last year, gorgeous collection of Greenland ruby and diamond jewelry. They sold out within 3 weeks. He knew he would be successful. He didn't realize just how successful he would be. He told the story. He invested time, energy, money in his collection. He went on morning television. He told his customers that they could come into his store and see something they had never seen before, and this was the result. The week before Christmas, his store manager sent me this little Insta on WhatsApp. They had sold out of their collection. By Christmas Eve, they were just taking orders, and this gentleman has now, in fact, become our Scandinavian distributor partner. That's our proof of concept. So without further ado, I'm going on to show you Vincent's latest video, and this is about our treatment from our process from mine to market. All gems from Greenland ruby are heat treated with borax, and in the spirit of transparency,
For the miners, the work is very hard because they have to break the rock in order to find the ruby, and they have to break this rock without breaking the rubies. So this is a clear example of mining in a primary deposit. As you can see here, the ruby are still associated with the rock in which they fall as the origin. So you see the cost of working here and extracting this ruby. You have to break the rock without to break the rubies. They broke on the process about 80 tons of ore material, and actually I selected about 200 small stones here that have a nice clarity, color, interesting specimen in order to characterize the quality. And I also selected these 20 stones that are larger, that have a fracture, because I would like to make an experiment about heat treatment in Thailand with borax. And we'll see how this stone will improve regarding clarity, regarding color, and regarding durability. So actually the rubies from Greenland are traveling from icy Greenland to one of the hottest places in Thailand where they will be healed by fire. So here now we are in Thailand, and what we do is follow the stone from Greenland to that small city on my background, which is called Chantaburi. This place is very famous to produce a type of sapphire that is called black star sapphire. One of the issues with this stone is that because of the iron plate, when jewelers try to set up the stone, very often the stone were breaking because of parting. There were several families who were quite famous because people were saying that they were able to repair the stones that were broken. There were people who were, their family were coming from Mobok in Burma, and they were using
for the jewelry a mineral called borax. The use of borax was to protect the metal piece and the stone from oxidation due to fire when they were heating the piece in order to weld it. From that technique, they learned also to repair the stones that were not yet broken, the stones that had fractured. In the 1970s and 1980s, this technique developed, and the tiles from Canterbury were able to find a very efficient technique in order to repair the stones that had fractured.
The first thing we do is we clean the sample. In order to clean the sample, we apply some acid in order to eliminate all the minerals that are associated with coral during the formation. And by the treatment with acid, we'll be able to remove all these minerals and open the fracture. So then, later, when we do the heat treatment with borax, the borax will be able to penetrate in the fracture and start to do the healing of these fractures. And the second step will be heat treatment. And during this second step, during the heat treatment with borax, you will have a healing of the fracture that will improve the transparency. At the same time, in some cases, the milkiness might be able to disappear.
This type of furnace is an electric furnace. It enables a very good control of the temperature. So we are heating in air exactly the same way as the people who developed this treatment work at the beginning because they were jewelers. They were working with a jeweler torch, and they were working with air. And actually, this is just something more modern, but using the same technique. The treatment is done with air. Borax is added to the rubies, like a painted around the rubies. And then we just make sure that, after the heat treatment is done, the temperature will cool down very quickly in order for the stone not to become milky and the stone not to glue with each other. So this is the stone after the treatment. The treatment is done. Heat treatment with borax enables basically three great things: a better transparency, a better color, and a better durability.
Second stone is much better, so there are still a lot of fractures that are visible, but the overall transparency is much better. Stone number 6 has a nice attractive break, actually. You can see this area is very nice. The red is good. The transparency is much better. So this stone could be turned into a nice cabochon.
Damas at Lisbeth de Soetimit, Dr. Safini at the Shawmukut, in of Ogatimini and in the Sa, and that's the sugar of the Sa.
So I just want to say that this is the first time that this process of treating with borax has actually been documented in this way. And it's an essential part of our processing. It's what allows us to bring these gems to market in a responsible way and make them accessible to a new and exciting market. Thank you very much for your time. I'm now